They deal with death day in and day out, investigating whether someone's passing is accidental or perhaps intentional.
Medical examiners have very difficult jobs. Any small mistake can make an enormous difference between whether a murderer is caught or not. Defender Kevin Dietz followed them inside the examining room for a closer look at the way they do their jobs every day.
Last night, the defenders took you to the streets of Metro Detroit, showing up with morgue investigators at the scene of deaths. Today, we take you inside the examining room at the medical examiner's office, where doctors finish the task of finding out if a case is a murder or a natural death. Every day, someone dies in Metro Detroit. A homicide to the untrained eye might look like a suicide or natural death. To find out if foul play was involved, Oakland County Medical Examiner Dr. L.J. Dragovic performs an autopsy.
The man fell down the flight of stairs, landed on the back of his head, sustained fracture of the skull, and the injuries to the inside of the head, the injuries to the brain.
As the doctor works, now retired investigator Bob Gerds explains it to us and to future medical students.
Death by violence, shooting, beating, stabbing, drowning, poisoning is a medical examiner case.
In the exam room, doctors cut open bodies, examine organs, tissue, and take samples for toxicology.
After they remove the breastplate, first thing they're going to do, open the pericardium, lift up the heart, take a heart blood sample.
In this case, a man died from a severe blow to the head.
Did they collapse or did somebody assault them?
His brain will need to be examined, which means cutting open the skull.
They will make an incision, top of the scalp, ear to ear, reflect the scalp like a mask down over the face, use the striker saw to remove the skull cap. We remove that brain, weigh it.
For some students, it can be too much.
Some of you will be fascinated by this and have your noses glued to the glass, and some of you will be repulsed by this.
Vomiting and passing out is not uncommon for those who observe.
If you start feeling hot, cold, dizzy, nauseous, tingly, tunnel vision, you need to sit down.
Doctors tell us they cannot solve many cases just by examining the body. Investigator Keith Batchelor goes to the scenes, finding clues based on how bodies are positioned and evidence found.
All kinds of things that can be parts, necessary parts of the jigsaw puzzle that has to be put together so that one can determine the manner of death.
They are tough but crucial jobs. If they do them wrong, someone may get away with murder or worse.
It's real bad to find out 10 years later that someone was in error and someone spent 10 years of their lives out behind bars for no good reason.
And many times the doctors and morgue investigators have one final part of their job, showing up at court to testify. Often what they find on the streets or on the table helps determine if someone is convicted or acquitted of a crime. Kevin Dietz, Defenders.
Let me mention, if you'd like to see the first part of Kevin's story on the investigators out of the morgue, you can find it on the Defenders page at clickondetroit.com.